Revolutionary greetings to all the forces, and thank you very much for tuning in on the Unapologetic channel. Without wasting any time, let's get down to it. Right, so yesterday on the 7th of November 2024, Darlene Pofu announced on the SABC News that he is leaving the EFF and he'll be joining the MK party of Jacob Zuma. So, right, Dali, the reason I didn't say it's breaking news is because, I mean, it was really expected that Dali at some point was going to leave the EFF and join the MK, as he even said it himself on SABC News, that he was the mastermind behind the MK party and some members actually leaving the organization. So Dali follows many others that have left the organizations, following the former deputy president of the EFF, Floyd Shivambu, Manyi, and many others, as well as Dali in that category. And Cesar Glomo said something very interesting yesterday when he said the MK party is more like an ANC project, right? In the sense that it's eating so much from the EFF more than anything else. I mean, it has been taking its members' ideas, and he has taken also so many votes from the EFF, but we haven't really seen it taking much from the African National Congress. But anyway, that is just an opinion, right? And to be honest, at this point, like I said, the MK party is eating so much from the EFF, and all fingers are pointing down to one person, which is the CIC, the Commander-in-Chief, Julius Malema, leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters. Everyone is blaming Julius Malema for the departure of so many strong, capable leaders that are leaving the organization to join the MK party. And Sinawo Tambo, Commissar Sinawo Tambo also touched on this strategy that is being utilized by the MK party to destroy the Economic Freedom Fighters, in a sense that you get people leaving at different times, but they were aware all along that they were going to leave, but now they want to leave at at different times so that it can be breaking news and seem like the EFF has internal problems or rather disagreements that are leading to some of these members leaving. The orchestrated departure of senior EFF members trickling out strategically over weeks and months appears to be more of a calculated move by the MK party under the leadership of Jacob Zuma to systematically destabilize the EFF and erode public confidence in its leadership. By staggering this exit, the MK party is creating a sustainable media presence that suggests a continuous, deep-seated discord within the EFF. And this is more like, it's my opinion, but it seems more like a tactic designed to weaken the EFF party's public image and also creates doubts about Julius Malema's leadership. To be honest, I don't buy the narrative that there is a leadership crisis in the EFF, which is a result as to why so many leaders decide to leave. I mean, capable leaders. It is not merely a coincidence that so many people decide to leave the organization at different times. It seems to be more of a strategy, in a sense that when they leave, breaking news, EFF in crisis, MK party is the alternative. But each departure adds a new layer into this narrative of internal conflict and projecting the image that the party is in crisis, and also painting the narrative that the EFF is breaking down. From a political strategy perspective, this appears to serve a dual purpose for the MK party. Number one, it paints the EFF as internally unstable, while simultaneously boasting the credibility of the MK party as a stable alternative. Hence, you see that a lot of people, when they leave the EFF, they go straight to MK, because now MK has been, has been painted as this alternative organization that is better than the EFF and is aiming to liberate and unite black forces within the borders of South Africa. And one thing that people forget is that the EFF is the reason why Jacob Zuma was removed from power. They have fought so hard to make sure that Jacob Zuma resigns, and people tend to forget very quickly and think that people have forgiven them when they haven't. And from my perspective, the MK party is using this public exit of EFF members as political leverage to portray Malema as an authoritarian figure unable to maintain unity within his party. And you get a lot of people saying that the EFF is breaking down, but I want to say this, right? And I want to say it very clearly. Just close to the mic. The economic freedom fighters is not breaking down. The economic freedom fighters is going to be here for a very long time. This is a moment for the economic freedom fighters to rebuild itself, because it's an organization that is investing in young people. And I get it. Like, some of the people that are leaving are very capable leaders, but the economic freedom fighters is investing in young, capable leaders. And I don't think it will ever have a shortage of leadership. We know that the EFF student command is very strong. When they leave the university premises, they're going straight to the organization to better the movement and grow the organization. This is my belief, But let's get to this. Let's get deeper into the analysis to find out why some of these members leaving. I'll just provide my own analysis, and obviously people might differ with me. I don't have a problem with that. If you have a different view, please share it, and then let's engage. And right, the most common and the most spoken about is internal conflict. There is a narrative that is being pushed that all of these members that are leaving the organization, they are leaving because they have disagreements with the leadership within the EFF, and therefore they're going to MK, as MK is not a dictatorship organization. But I want to really understand this narrative of internal conflict. I wouldn't say there is no internal conflict. I don't have much information in regards to that. But I find it very, I struggle to fathom why the internal conflict could be the only driving force as to why many people decide to leave the organization. But then I'll try to break it down, right? So one of my issues that I have with the issue of internal conflict is the delayed reaction. Right. If there was an internal conflict in the EFF, I'm not saying there isn't, but the fact that most of these members waited for so long, it means that the internal conflict or disagreements were tolerable, and only up until there was another opportunity or alternative, for them to better their career and advance their careers. Why did the EFF members who have left the organization remain silent for so long if there was internal conflict, and only waited for MK to be fully established, and then they decided, no man, we can't do this anymore, we're gonna leave? It's very flabbergasting, and at the same time it's discombobulating. And I want to know, why did the EFF members who decided to leave the organization wait for so long and remain silent for so long about the internal conflict with the leadership within the EFF? They waited for so long up until the MK party was fully established, and then they decided, no man, anymore, we have to leave. And that speaks so much about the loyalty, to the revolution. But yeah, for me, I struggle to understand that part, because if there was an internal conflict that was really that serious to a point where they couldn't continue within the organization anymore, we will have seen this mass exodus long time ago. It wouldn't have only started to happen after the EFF lost the election and it lost so much to MK that we see that people are leaving the organization. And the other thing I want to speak about is loyalty until opportunity. Most of these members were loyal to the organization despite this internal conflict that a lot of people are speaking about, up until the MK party presented itself as a better organization that is going to unite the forces within South Africa and take over power in the country. So there was loyalty until opportunity. Like I said, they were able to remain, stay with the movement, campaign for the movement, and promote the movement and make sure that people voted for the movement. And then when they realized that, no man, we are losing here, because now MK is now whipping us, giving us a good hitting. So we gotta go, gotta bounce, gotta go, leave this MK, this organization. Now the internal conflict started to be serious only when they lost elections, only when MK came to the party. I mean, it cannot be that the internal conflict is the only driving force. There has to be many more other things. But then I want to say this, right? This is my opinion, and I'm going to share my opinion unapologetically without fear, of being challenged by anyone, or a fear of being attacked by anyone, right? The attraction of the MK party as a viable alternative led to so many of these leaders leaving the organization, because the fact that many of the members, all the members that are leaving the EFF, go to MK party specifically, and they're not going to any other organization. And then this suggests that the MK party might be a promising organization or more beneficial platform for them to advance their political careers, which is very much understandable. If you look at it, the emergence of the MK party created sort of a pathway for the disillusioned EFF members who might have felt trapped or conflicted, but had no viable exit strategies until now, when the MK party became fully established. And the last point that I want to touch on is political opportunism. Many of these members that are departing, including Shivambu and Dalim Pofu, have explicitly stated that the MK party is a better organization to advance and unify the black forces. This shift seems more of a strategy to recalibrate rather than an ideological one, as they say, because you cannot tell me that you'll keep jumping to you cannot tell me that you start an organization, you stay committed to an organization, you are a co-founding member, but when another organization emerges, you decide to leave it. It's more about opportunity. We all saw what the MK party did during the elections. They've emerged as a very strong party that was undermined, and it's really got a lot of vote, and even now it's still at its peak. I'm not sure if it's at its peak, but I kind of feel like it's it's at a point where it's going to gain a lot of support, right? Most of these people that are leaving the EFF to join the MK party, they are not leaving because it's a good political move. They are leaving because it's a good opportunity for them to advance their political careers. They are leaving because they are opportunistic bastards who cannot stay committed to an organization and resolve its issues. But they realize that no, man, if we stay with the EFF because it's losing vote, people are having complaints in regards to the policies, and then the MK party is emerging as a strong organization, that needs leaders, because MK, when it was started, it didn't have a lot of leaders. So they saw an opportunity, to advance their political careers. Opportunistic bastards who cannot stay committed to the organization and build. And I don't trust such people. And I'll never trust such people, right? Because how can you trust someone who started something and then leave it to join something which has a better chance of succeeding at the current moment? You can't trust someone like that. It's a betrayal. It shows lack of loyalty when it comes to these people. And also, if you look at it, right, they might have forgotten, a lot of people have forgotten this, that the EFF is the reason Jacob Zuma is out of power. And they might feel like, oh, Jacob Zuma is forgiven all of us because now everything is pointing at one man. Oh, seems like now Julius was the only one who was responsible, for Zuma must fall. Most of these other leaders are now, rallying behind Jacob Zuma. I'm telling you, someone is using someone, or all of them are using each other, and that is just how I'm gonna leave it. This is a lesson for most of us to learn, how human beings can change. A person can convince you to do something, and then tomorrow when they feel like, no man, whatever I'm doing is not right, then they switch. But yeah, it's also part of the reason why a lot of people, especially in South Africa, do not really believe in politicians, because of actions like this. You get people moving left, right, and center, hiding their true intentions and hiding what's going on within the organization. They just give us, some like information which does not help us with anything, and they still want us to trust them. That's the crazy part. But yeah, for me, I feel like the the reason most of them left is because MK party is promising and it's good for them to advance their political careers, and also it could be a strategy for MK party to destroy the EFF, given that the EFF is the reason Jacob Zuma lost power. But yeah, that is just my opinions. Let me know what you think and share your opinions on in the comment section. I will engage, and I'm really someone who likes to get different perspective, because I think that is what helps us to understand a lot of things. But yeah, that's it from me, not me, but from the Unapologetic channel. See you all on Monday on the Political Rundown on the Unapologetic channel, Monday morning. Cheers.